Hey everyone, Josh here with an up-close look at a Star Wars toy. And today we're going to unbox an Electrostaff Purge Trooper. This is from the Black Series and the Gaming Greats line. And this character is from Jedi Fallen Order, the game. And let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging and then we'll get him out of here. And as you can see, there's no number on these. They're a different color than the normal red boxing. And, you know, it's just to let you know he's from a video game. He's not from a movie or a show or anything like that. And then, of course, we have the character description. And I'll go ahead and read that for you guys real quick. Electrostaff Purge Trooper. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order features Purge Troopers, a new class of soldier who assist the Inquisitors in hunting down any remaining Jedi. Alright, and that's a pretty good description of these guys. So, if you're not familiar with these characters, they're from a video game. So, if you're not a gamer, you may not recognize them, but they're from a game, one of the most recent games to come out called Jedi Fallen Order. And then they did a sequel called Jedi Survivor, which came out just several months ago. And they're really interesting characters. Let me go ahead and pop these guys out of here. Or pop this guy out of here before we start talking about them. And then, of course, we have the taped in Electrostaff here, and this thing is, well, very, very large. So we'll take a closer look at that in a moment. But talking about the Purge Trooper again, so when you play the game, these guys kind of work with or for the Inquisitors, and the Inquisitors are the, I guess, fallen Jedi, or they're Force-sensitive people, and they work with Vader in hunting down the remaining Jedi. And these guys, the Purge Troopers, are the troopers that work with them. And the first time I remember seeing them is in the Jedi Fallen Order game, and their purpose is to hunt Jedi. So for a Jedi, which is the character you play, they're pretty difficult to take out. So it's a fun game. I highly recommend it if you're interested in any Star Wars gaming. You definitely want to check that game out. And all right, so let's look at this figure and get his articulation and check it out here, or run through it here. And so just starting off, just getting a real, I know it's because he's all black, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see he's got kind of a, it's almost a Vader looking helmet. It's a very interesting helmet. It's not like a stormtrooper. It kind of reminds me of those troopers, those robot troopers they had in the Mandalorian. It looks very similar to that. But let's look at his articulation here again. And so just looking at his head, you got not even full rotation. You just have like a left and right. And down to his arm, you kind of have limited articulation due to the shoulder pad armor hitting the chest armor. So it restricts that. But then you do have a full arm rotation. You should have rotation at the upper arm, which they put the articulation behind the armor, so that's cool. You have back and forth at the elbow. You should have a rotation on the wrist, and then a more of a down than a up and down on the wrist. And then just looking at his torso here, you have rotation at the lower chest there. It's like and they hid the articulation under the plate again, which is very cool. And he's got an actual little bit of up and down and back and forth too. And then you go down here to the leg. You should have rotation at the leg, which you do. And then you should have knee back and forth. And you should have back and forth at the ankle. Yeah, there you go. And then you should rotate at the ankle. Very good. All right, so it's pretty standard articulation, and you can see he's got some white highlights on his gauntlet there, little computer wrist thing. I'm not even sure what that is. Then more highlights. You got the Imperial emblem on the shoulder pad. You got more highlights on the leg. And then of course you have this little like the clone troopers have. You have the little skirting. I'm not sure if that's the proper terminology. Probably not, but it kind of looks like a skirt. And then also you have the belt, which, okay, the little leg straps are not, they have these like little leg straps. They're not attached. They just kind of fold and hide under the armor, but the belt is not attached. And just looking at it, it doesn't appear like it's going to come off. So, and then real quick, let's take a look at his hand sculpts, and you can see trigger finger on his right hand and just kind of the standard open fist on the other hand. Okay, so from there we're going to look, and you can see he's got this shoulder pad on, kind of like one of the sand troopers, and you can see it's not glued to the figure. It's on here and it's loose, but it does not, just looking at it, it does not appear to be removable. And you can also see on the back here he has these red circles. And then also I'm noticing just now, if you look under his shoulder pad, you can see there's another red Imperial emblem under there. It's not, can't really see it, but I assure you it is under there. All right, so from there we're going to look at the weapon for this guy. And so this is, and the electrical part of the electrical staff is falling off here, but they come off, they're separate. But just looking at his weapon, this compared to the figure, this is how tall it is. It is very large, and you can see here it has like just some texturing on it, and if I can get it to stay focused. All right, there we go. And then at the tip, it's got like a little kind of like cattle prod looking thing. And yeah, this thing is quite massive. And then you have these like electricity, purple electrical things, and you can see they open up, they're flexible, and I know they were wrapped around the staff, but I'm not sure that you're gonna really get them to stay on there. I'm not sure exactly. I guess they're more for if you're just posing the figure, and you can kind of just stick these things on here. But yeah, there's no real attaching them. They just kind of slide up and down. But yeah, this thing is huge. And the other thing that's kind of interesting about it is it's very, the diameter, it's just large, and I'm not sure, but looking at his hands, yeah, he might be able to fit this thing. It is very large, and there's no real thin part to it. If you look, they don't have like a thinned out part where you can put his hands. But we're going to try to get him to hold this thing. And I'm not exactly sure how you're going to do this. This thing is huge. Kind of going to have to open the... There we go. He's got a grip on it. But yeah, you can see it's kind of... He's got a grip on it. He's got it. But you can see how large it is in his hand. And it's... I don't know. It doesn't feel natural. It almost feels like you're forcing it in there. And you see how his fingers barely wrap around it. But it's in his hand good. He's got a good grip on it. And, you know, this thing is so big, you would think they would want to have a way you can kind of, trying to really forcing it in there. It does fit into his hands. And you can see he can get both hands on it. But yeah, it's just a really large weapon. So it's just a little awkward, that's all. But all right, guys, let's give him the quick, real final test here. And I want to see, will the Electrostaff Purge Trooper stand up? And yes, he does just fine. All right, very good, very good. All right, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. This is the Electrostaff Purge Trooper from the Black Series Gaming Greats line. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.